Let's take a look at an example of integrative behavioral couples therapy. In this counseling session, I'll be working with Brooke and Shanley to discuss their relationship. The couple originally came in because they were experiencing a decline in intimacy. To begin, I make sure that they feel comfortable and safe within the counseling room, setting the boundaries of counseling. What follows next is different variations of IBCT techniques. What do you notice during this counseling session?
Yeah, I hope I want this space to be as comfortable as possible for y'all. So if there's anything that comes up, I want you to bring it to this space. This is a safe space after all. I would hope this is a safe space. Anyway. So, tell me, what brings you all in today?
Sure. So we've been having some relationship issues. We've been together for 3 years, and lately we just haven't been as close. It started off really great, and the last couple of years we've just been more distant and less intimate, and just been less close. And I feel like there's been conflicts, and we've been trying to I've been trying to fix them and figure out how to fix them, and we just haven't been getting anywhere.
Sure. So what I'm hearing is that there's a sense of you're missing out on some intimate moments. Sure. We can definitely talk about that topic. I guess to start off, if one of you wants to tell me more about what's going on. Like you mentioned, there's some underlying difficulties with that. Shanley, if you would, if one of you wants to kind of share what you've been experiencing.
Yeah, like I said, it's just been less close, and I guess it started off slow and we've just been less close and more distant. I guess I've been really busy. I just graduated grad school. I started a new job. I've just been really busy. I don't think that's all of it, though. I mean, I know I've been busy. We've both been busy. But I know that I've still been making time for us. And so I know I've been busy, but I don't think that's all of it. So I just feel like we've been spending all of our time not fighting. Actually, I was going to say fighting, but not fighting, because I try to bring things up and she won't talk about it, because I guess I kind of bring things up and I want to talk about things and want to fix things, and she just shuts down and runs away and won't talk about them. So that's really frustrating for me, because I'm trying to fix this relationship and she won't talk about it. So that's kind of why we're here. Yes.
Okay, so I'm hearing some frustrations from Shanley. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, Brooke, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I definitely am on the same page of that it's not the same as what it was in the beginning. I don't know if you can kind of tell if she can be a little critical, and which is hard for me. I feel like she's not as proud of my job, and I work in retails, and she said she's really successful and just got her master's and does a really great job, and one of the biggest things we fight about is money, and I just don't like the confrontation and that type of way to resolve problems, but I don't know what a better way to do it.
And that's why I'm so frustrated, because I'm trying to fix it, and I'm trying to bring it up and talk about it, and you won't talk about it. And I know it's frustrating and whatever, scary a little bit, whatever, but it's I'm trying to fix this and you just won't talk about it. So that's really frustrating for me. So I don't know what to do. And then when you say you don't know how to fix it and you don't know what to do, it's I'm trying to fix it and I bring it up, and when you don't even try, that's really frustrating for me. Do you know what I mean? I say something and then she doesn't even say anything back. She just sits there and shuts down. So that's frustrating.
Brooke, how does that feel to hear that?
I mean, I don't do it on purpose. I don't shut down on purpose just to drive her crazy, definitely. But I just don't know a good way to react. My childhood and how I was brought up, it was, I could be punished for speaking my mind, or being confrontational, so it's just not who I am.
Sure. Sounds like there's a lot going on in this relationship, and I think the next best step for us to do is maybe meet individually so I can kind of get to know each one of you on a little bit more intimate level basis. Kind of check out your family history, check out anything else that may be going on internally or externally. So I think, in a couple weeks when we come back together, we can talk more about what I've learned and what maybe you've learned in those individual sessions. How do you both feel about that?
I think that's a good idea. Just so we can talk individually, because I obviously she doesn't get a chance to. She doesn't feel comfortable with me talking, so I think that's important for her to get a chance to talk. And me too.
And Brooke, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, great. Well, let me pull up my calendar and we can schedule these appointments.
Great, thanks.
Awesome.
As I work with each client individually, I begin to learn more about what each brings to the relationship. For Brooke, I learn more about her family history. She grew up with an abusive father, both physically and verbally. She has gone through therapy many times, but in adult therapy, she becomes withdrawn and cold towards the therapist. This may also contribute to her relationship with Shanley. Shanley, on the other hand, comes from a very boisterous, loud family, where conflicts are typically handled out loud. Also, during my individual session with Shanley, I learned more about an affair she is having with a coworker named Veronica. We talk about this in session and also encourage her to bring it up while in the main session as well with Brooke. As I return Brooke and Shanley together in one counseling room, I give a summary about their strengths in the relationship. I also begin to tell them more about the relationship dynamics and ask Shanley to share her news.
And also, in addition to these strengths and problems, I also want to talk about some relationship dynamics that are going on in your relationship. During our individual sessions, something came up, and this might get a little uncomfortable, and I apologize for that, but I think it's important to help move the therapy session forward. But when I was talking with Shanley, she brought up something very interesting, and I hope, Shanley, that you'd feel comfortable enough to share with Brooke what you shared with me.
Yeah. So Brooke, I feel like you probably kind of expect this, but so Veronica at work. We started off as just friends, as you know. We have hung out. More than a couple times, so we've been hanging out more and more. We've just been getting, I guess you could say, closer and closer, and it's gotten to a point where I don't like that it's like this, but it's gotten to a point where I feel closer to her than I do to you. And we haven't had sex or anything like that, but I just feel like I feel closer and more emotionally intimate and close with Veronica than I do to my girlfriend. And it's just, I just feel conflicted about that. And I don't like that it's like this, but it's like, I tried to fix this, and it's like, I tried, and I tried to talk to you about this, and I tried to fix this, and I tried to bring things up, and you wouldn't talk about things, and you just shut down, and I feel like you were unavailable for me, and I was the one who was putting the work in and trying to fix our relationship, and you weren't there, and Veronica was there, and so what was I supposed to do? So she was there, and you weren't, and it's like, what would anybody do? So it's like, it's not my fault. What would anybody do? It's like, I was the one who was trying to fix the relationship, and you didn't try. So it's probably hard to hear, but it's just the way it is, and it's not my fault. It's just what happened.
And Shannon, I think, I appreciate you sharing that into the space here, and I think that's really deep. However, I do want to discourage you from blaming Brooke for anything from doing that, and I want to encourage you to express what you're feeling in this moment. What are you feeling?
Well, I feel lonely, and I feel hurt.
Okay, sure. Brooke, when you hear all this, when you hear what Shanley just said, what are you feeling?
Well, honestly, I can't say that I'm all too surprised about it because I have been noticing that you guys have been spending a lot of time together. This saying like the sex or no sex, it's not as important to me, but the fact that you feel more emotionally connected to her than me, I guess, is the part that's the most hurtful to hear.
That can be very hurtful. I think there's a lot of emotion in this room right now, and I think we should definitely talk about it more. I think we also should talk about what each of you wants from this relationship, and also what could be good to talk about going forward in therapy. You feel that we could do that together?
Yeah, I think we need to, at this point, just talk about what we want.
Okay, great. So let's start. Brooke, what do you want from this relationship?
For the remainder of the session, I work with Brooke and Shanley to talk about what each of them wants from the relationship. I also assigned some homework with Shanley to call Veronica in Brooke's presence to establish boundaries for the affair. In later sessions, I talk with Brooke and Shanley about the affair and also their relationship dynamics between each other. Using IBCT techniques and strategies, I work with the couple further to help them overcome the difficulties that they're having in their relationship. What did you notice during this clip? How do you think IBCT can be helpful as you begin your counseling practice?